Hey everybody!
Hi guys.
We're on
Welcome to
the Here Be Dragons page today.
Woohoo, we are officially. Our page is now 60 days old, so we can go live directly on the page.
We're so old.
We're just babies. Welcome to Here Be Dragons, where creativity meets courage and dragons live in the art we create and the lives we lead. I'm Carla Morrow of DragonLady Art, and with me is my co-pilot and dragon rider extraordinaire,
Alan Childers of Alan Childers Art and Illustration. We're here to talk to you about dragons we face, the treasure or booty we're after, and the wondrously weird journey of life. Every episode will explore what it takes to face your dragons and maybe even ride one.
So grab your shield, sharpen your claws, and let's dive in today because we're asking the question that matters most. What dragons are you facing? Hi, Alan.
Hey Carla, how's it going?
I am upright and conscious, which is always a good thing. I'm gonna
Always
see
a
if
good thing.
earpods to connect, so it's not quite so echoey. Let's see.
Echoey.
No, right? It's so bad. Ben gave me a hard time last week about not having a mic, so I guess I'm gonna go. That goes.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me now?
I can
Is
hear
okay?
you.
Am I too quiet? Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I know. I'm usually like really quiet. But so we're on the official Here Be Dragons page right now. So I'm going to take a moment and share us
Yep.
elsewhere. And then we got fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it's fun stuff.
We're doing stuff. We're doing things. We're doing stuff.
We're doing all the things.
And we're not drawing today or painting today. Although Carla has been kicking some major ass on one of her pieces behind her. And I recently painted a piece too. So we can have show and tell. I'm still noodling this piece. As Carla likes to say, we're still noodling it. So kind of knock it back with some neutrals and then build the color back up with light and dark values. So
You definitely have a good start going.
Too bright, a lot of brightness in it. So it's just overall bright and not a focused brightness, you know. So we're gonna do some focused brightness.
Kind of control your values as much as possible.
Hopefully, I don't just destroy the damn thing.
Oh, I got a drawer full of broken paintings and broken dreams, I guess.
Broken dreams and broken paintings. Oh no, Carla.
That never quite reached fruition.
Never reached fruition. Did you share the things? Do the things? Share the things?
I did. I shared them on the DragonLady art page and my personal page.
There you
Chat.
go.
See if anybody's in chat. Hello. So supposedly this is working on our Facebook page.
Who's in chat?
No one yet.
Okay. All right.
Gotta give it.
Yeah, that was the. I guess that's the one thing about the about being on our personal pages. You know, we always have somebody on the personal page to, you know, do the things.
Right? Yeah, and the massive following I have that never gets any of my updates because Facebook likes to control our little tiny gardens, and that's okay.
Right.
Because where else are you gonna go?
Dang you, Facebook, and your book of faces.
Enshittification.
The enshittification. Just bring it back to like the early aughts. It was like perfect in the early aughts, or even like
MySpace.
2012. Bring it back to 2012.
Good years.
I think that might work. We bring it back to 2012 and we're good to go.
So what dragons are you facing this week, Alan? Art-wise.
Dragons that I'm facing. Well, I'm still noodling this painting. I had a wild hair and decided to do this acrylic painting. But I want to try to make it there's some spots in it that aren't quite all the way done, and I like the textures and I like the composition. I just want to clean it up a little bit and bring in some stuff, and make a good painting that's going to be um, and yeah, in thinking about future projects and things that I want to work on, like uh, coming up with a game plan to work on Honey Fuzz the Wizard Bear children's illustration book, which I've written. It just needs edited. Oh, hey Renee, how's it going?
Hey, Renee.
Renee's here. So yeah, it needs edited for the age range and knock it back a little bit because I think I have it like the verbiage is a little bit too much for kiddos. So hey Adrian.
Yay! Glad you could join us. Be safe on the road if you're still traveling. I think last I saw you were still traveling, so be careful.
So yeah, I'm super excited by Honey Fuzz. I would like to get it published, self-published, or even kickstarted by somewhere in 2027. It doesn't have to be right away in 2027, but I would look to have that be the year that it is ready for it, right?
Nice. Glad you're safe.
So yeah, that's been kind of on my mind, and also like some of the other things that we've been working on have been on my mind too. Some new ventures, some new things coming up, and I'll segue to you so that you can go ahead and just talk about that.
Well, I'll start with what I'm working on. I've got like a week and 3/4 before I leave for the Las Vegas Licensing Expo, which shouldn't have been a shock that it was coming up so quick, but here we are.
Yeah.
There will be a calendar for 2027 based on the butterfly dragons. I actually got a contract for that, so I finished it up today and sent it to my agent. So 2027 will have a new butterfly dragon calendar finally, because I've been slacking on calendars. The lion I scrubbed out and restarted. He needs quite a bit more work, but we're working on it.
It looks a lot more structurally structurally it just looks cleaner and looks really good. So
yeah, I'm much happier with it. I was still kind of experimenting with the paints. I had bought translucent acrylics and I wasn't really happy with the way that look was going, so I went back to my acrylic wash, which is just acrylic. Well, yeah, it's acrylic that's super, super matte. But doing that and then glazing the translucent acrylic over the top, that seemed to break the system for me, and I'm really happy with how much control I have over the paints that way, which is really exciting.
nice.
Yeah, and then the venture that we're working on now is called Critically Epic. If you go to criticallyepic.com, it'll be right there. I started it, oh gosh, probably about 2 years ago with my own designs, and the goal for Critically Epic was a product-based nerd gamer gear with a funny kind of spin to it, like sarcasm funny. And I did a bunch of designs, and I put out a website, and I put out an Etsy, and then I just kind of lost steam on it because it was just me, and I have 30,000 other projects to work on, clearly. So Alan and I were talking after Norman, and his artwork seems to fit the theme pretty well, so I invited him on, and now it's Critically Epic Studios.
Yeah, we're Critically Epic Studios. It's like gonna be like a we're gonna keep it that gaming kind of theme and that TTRPG theme, but kind of expand into like fantasy lifestyle, almost like a fantasy lifestyle brand, where we might do terrain builds. We might do eventually we might do some like 3D printing stuff and some, we might provide and sell, dice. We might get some custom dice eventually. That's all long term down the road, but for right now, we have some really cool and fun designs that are kind of funny. I used one of Carla allowed me to use one of her designs, and I made a doormat that I really want to buy for my house with with an ooze. It's like enter if you dare.
Yes, yes. I've had a few requests for some other designs. I'm currently working on an outhouse mimic, and I'm having fun. I did a chest mimic, and the text around it says "Can't be suspicious because you're delicious." And I did like the D20 as the Kool-Aid man from the '90s, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's the 20." And
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
love that. I just saw that on there too. Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh
yeah. So
yeah.
it's
We need a
fun, and
T-shirt of that.
Allison.
I think a T-shirt of that would be awesome.
I designed a T-shirt for that.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just go straight to criticallyepic.com, that's all there.
You wanna share that page, or do you want me to do it?
I can't figure out how to do a screen share, so if you want to get on that.
Okay. Let me go to criticallyepic.com first and have that up.
Close all your dirty pages.
You're right. What? I don't. I no.
What? Yeah. This will be an explicit
Did I just say
episode.
something out loud without? Not confirmed. Not confirmed.
This will be an explicit episode, boys and girls. So,
Oh gosh, explicit episode.
it's
So
kind of I noticed something at Norman. I realized something, and that's as much as the artwork is doing good, and as much as it's my art space, and yada 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 yada, and even changing directions and things like that. The art needs to be supplemented somehow. So
okay, so here we are
there you
on
go.
the Critically Epic Studios shop page, and as you go down up top here, you'll see all products, home and living, accessories, women, men, and personalized. We did not come up with those.
I hate that so much. We'll have to eventually get our own page. I heard
a little,
nothing.
a little
Exactly.
a little bit about us. Here's an awesome logo that Carla designed. And here is our latest. They show the latest featured ones that we have right here. I did the Pink Pegasus Club, kind of poking fun at the Pink Pony Club song. So I have a Pink Pegasus Club sticker. That's kind of fun. If you go to all products, though, you'll get to see the entire inventory of what we've created so far. And I really love this rainbow dice square pillow.
Thank you.
And
The square pillows that look plain, if you click on them and then see the backside, there's a mimic face. So you can have like hidden mimics at your home, and like no one will know unless they turn the pillow around. So if you click on like the black or the beige one.
Let's check it out. And I see it now. That's so cool. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So like flip it around and then it's like, haha, I'm a mimic. That's great.
But it's like regular houseware, right? Like, so your in-laws are there. They don't have to know you're a nerd.
I feel like this episode is like one jump. Oh, you did make it into a T-shirt for that.
See, I went to town the other night making
I might have to buy this one because this one's pretty dope. I like that one. Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to revisit it. Like, there's a lot of other products we're talking about doing. I think we're going to do a Kickstarter for Mimic Dice, like a Mimic Dice pin set.
Yeah.
I really like the D20 floor pillows. I want to get a couple for me. They're round pillows, so I adjusted the image to look like dice wrapped around. But yeah. And a lot of those designs.
I'm still learning the cell shading style, the illustration style that you kind of using for these stickers. They look great when you do it right. My designs are a little bit like edgy inked kind of, especially with this iBat one. It would look great on like a skateboard, or it would be a great tattoo as well. But
is that going to be your first hat?
Probably, yeah, a little iBat, you know.
Nice. I need some ink therapy.
And yeah, we Carla's just got some really great designs. She already had some really great designs on here, and I've just kind of like added to it. So you have a variety of different original art designs created by us for your gaming, kind of fun. And I recently just got this sticker in the Dice Goblin D4 sticker in holographic. Uh, so I've got this one in holographic. I think it turned out really well in holographic. And yeah, these are some of the designs. We're going to put more stuff on here as we come up with things, more thematic things. Uh, we've got Dice Dragon. I've got several different colored Dice Dragon designs. So this little Dice Dragon guy is kind of like an illustrative Dice Dragon. Of course, it's on a 20. Um, so yeah, is there anything you would like me? Anything you'd like me to show them? Hello, Carla, are you there? All right, let me click out of this. I may have done something bad. Maybe I booted Carla. How do you click out of that? All right, Carla, where'd you go? All right, so Carla has left us for a second. She'll probably be back in un momento. So I'm running the ship, and we're gonna just talk about art and things. If anybody has anything they'd like to talk about, um, you know, uh, we're in a great kind of time right now. I think there are lots of artists who are putting fantastic work out, doing great things with art, and we're doing wonderful things with art. Uh, to, but there are times when even artists kind of mess up. I don't know if you some of the artists here like follow like some artist news and stuff like that, but like I guess Magic the Gathering had to come out with like a statement with one of their artists who had done some like paint over work, some editing work on another artist's work, and I was just flabbergasted by that. As far as like, uh, well, first you never know if it's like, is this person just being accused of this? Is this actually happening? Was you directed to do it? Is this the thing? Um, I think. Uh, Can everybody hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello?
Damn it.
And that was our brief intermission.
Sorry. Mountain
Just a brief
internet in the middle of nowhere.
As we both apparently screwed the pooch. You
Yeah,
know,
looks like we had a bunch of people jump on chat and then dropped. So sorry, y'all. That's internet in the middle of nowhere is awesome.
yeah, I think we're artists. Aren't we artists, Carla, and not like
Is that what it
technical
is? Not tech
savants?
people?
Yeah, we're I don't know.
I like to paint. Does that make me?
Austin, hello. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, guys.
Jumped.
I think we're back.
Everybody jumped on. I briefly mentioned the thing with Magic the Gathering, just to have a
Oh,
talk.
you were talking without me. I see how it is.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, I was actually talking for a while, sitting there over there showing him the thing. Did not know where you were. I come
Yeah.
back and I was like, Carla, is there anything you want me to show him? And Carla, the
Sorry.
fuck?
Sorry.
Like, what's really going down?
Oh, what did you say about the Magic the Gathering stuff? Because yes, I did.
I just said that it's really, it's unfortunate, like when you get, kind of like these things happen where, we have artists putting out, excellent work out here, and to have like, the top artists in the field of illustration have to come out with the company, no less, and say, hey, this happened to this artist's work. I mean, like some of us, like our first instinct is like, is he just being accused of this? Like, is this, is this a thing, or, so, our first instinct might be to like rush to the artist's defense, right? Like I probably would rush to the artist's defense on things too, in that regard. But there are some times when the pressures of the field and things, there's a not so savory or couth way to go about doing your biz, and sometimes you got to own up to making a mistake, and hopefully at the tier level that professionals are painting at, it doesn't impact your business too much, or the legacy of what you've already produced.
Right. And it's on some level it's a good thing because it opens up a dialogue of how these companies are treating artists. Right? It's you want the artist, you want the name, because then it becomes a partnership, but you want them to crank out work faster than they really should be cranking it out, or at a higher quality than they would normally. I mean, the pressure, and then the pay is getting lower, right? Or is not growing, like it's stagnating like everywhere else, right? So now you have to try to take on more work in order to like feed your family. And it's frustrating to be a artist and a trendsetter and somebody that designs culture and kind of kept under the desk and kicked whenever you need work, right?
Right.
And now we're upheld to, yes, I'm going to bring it up, we're upheld to AI. Like I can just crank it out faster with AI or whatever. And it's just kind of like if you look at anything, and this is across the board, right? It's not just with the gaming companies and the whatever, these big companies that are run by CEO. You see it a lot in video gaming too. You see it somewhat in the licensing departments too, if they've got in-house artists or things like that. It's make the thing that makes us money, but we're only going to give you a small fraction. When, I mean, all of the artists, think about Magic the Gathering's been out for what, 30 years now, 35 years.
Yeah.
All of those artists, all of their work is the face of Magic the Gathering. That's the whole reason people get into it, is to collect the art and the fun of the game. And to treat the very people that are the ones putting the value into your product in a way that makes them have to make those decisions or push the art harder or cutting deadlines or taking on more work, so you have to cut corners. Not that I'm giving the artist a free pass by any stretch of the imagination. He's been an artist for a very long time. He should know not to cut corners quite that bad. But I mean, to be put in that situation and not really have a way out is just, and I'm hoping that it'll open up a dialogue for better pay and things like that. So
yeah, no, AI has created this meat grinder effect and a pressure cooker between businesses and artists.
Right.
And it's creating an environment where, like, if you don't, since we have no protections or regulations on what AI can do and provide these corporations, and we have no protections of our rights, of our labor rights, of the use of our labor as artists, really, other than what a company is willing to give to us, or if you're able to unionize artists, which is like hurting fucking cats, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that it's, we're in a meat grinder for this stuff, but it's still, no matter what, there are certain, you know, ethical things you should not do as a professional artist, I think. And I'm not even that much of a professional, but I would never take Carla's work without
I don't know.
permission.
It's easy to see that when you're not in the pressure.
Yeah, I get it, but I still wouldn't. Like,
Family.
yeah, you gotta have a respect enough for the artist, and you have to have a respect enough for what you do to realize, if somebody ever did this to me, and realize that that's just not cool to do to other people, you know.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I feel bad all around for everybody involved,
Right.
but and I mean, honestly, it's just not a good look for Wizards as a whole, on the whole.
No, because
Most of
it got through all of their safeguards, right? It got past the artist and the art director and the board that oversees the art and on multiple times, right? So he would have had to have sent in sketches, and then he would have had to have sent in, the finished product and the, in progress shots and everything else. Like it wasn't just one failsafe that failed, it was all of them.
Yeah, totally. And it could have been like a deadline thing. It could have been anything. But it's one of those things where it's like when you have companies treating your skill and your artwork and what you do for them as assets,
Yeah.
and then they just like there was a public thing where Wizards of the Coast did where they allowed people to have certain assets to see what kind of what they could come up with. At one point in time, I think it was Monsters doing some type of thing like.
Hey, Megan. What is the discussion about right now? We're talking
Six,
about the new Magic the Gathering fiasco where the artist copied another artist's work and turned it in as a card, and no one
Yeah.
really noticed until they released it, and kind of the culture around gaming and
Hey, Megan. So yeah, I mean, we totally. That's just you just yeah. I mean, these corporations they're your work, right? But it's also their asset. And I think
Yeah.
though, like
they own the rights. You're making the art, but they own the rights.
they own the rights to it, and at a certain point, they start treating those assets just like Lego pieces,
Right.
and and it's unfortunate, but it's what how they like have to make product after product after product after product with it. So
Right. Well, and and Magic and D&D are the pinnacle of what people want to work for, right? New kids come into the art scene, and that's where they want to go. Is they want to eventually work for Wizards, or they want to eventually work for Hasbro and have their work published on the major games and stuff like that. And to see that as the ultimate goal, and then to be willing to like sacrifice whatever you want in order to get that, right? Like there's a bunch of kids that as long as they can work on Magic, they're willing to take lesser pay. And the hi Nathan.
Nathan coming in with the hot take.
It as you were it goes back to like unionizing and
saying that the artist in question wouldn't have gotten into Magic nowadays, and that may or may not be so. There is always at some point there's a need for a different like stylistic change. However, he did have 20 years or 20 or so years of work that he foundational to that company's success. So
oh yeah, he did the original Mox art, which are I have a mock sapphire that's valued at $4,500, like, but it also goes to, like we were talking about, like, it's hard to unionize us, or it's hard to get us all on the same page, or it's hard to, because we're all spread out over different cultures and income levels and things like that.
Yeah,
So
we'll work at
it's
different various rates.
right, yeah. So it's easy for these companies to drive the bar down because we don't come together and decide this is the rates that we're going to accept and don't accept outside of those rates. I don't know if that's something that's even possible. There's a reason I didn't go into gaming art, and that's kind of it.
I think
But
didn't Paizo's writers did that, or Paizo's artists did that, for some of what Paizo's did. They have I believe they had to create
Nathan can answer that.
yeah, they had to create some type of union at a certain point to bring awareness to what, and sometimes that's what a union is really good for too, is bringing awareness, and I believe like some other big name artists that initially came out in support of the Magic the Gathering artists. I'm trying not to mention any names, just so we don't offend anybody.
Well,
But
I know when the statement started coming out, there were some well-established artists that have been in the industry for 20, 30 years that all stepped forward and said, this is why we don't work for these companies anymore, which was interesting to see. So
right,
but they have the clout and the name because they did those
to step away
IPs,
from
back in the 2000s,
yeah, they
to
can,
be able to, yeah, exactly. They've earned that ability, and a lot of new artists don't yet, right?
right. We're still we're still in grinding, like Nathan's definitely grinding. He's
Okay, so yeah, so Nathan says, from what I know, there was a sort of union to up the pay of artists working for Paizo. I don't know much about the union side, especially since my work I'm doing is for hire, more or less. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember hearing about that, but I wasn't, definitely not into the details.
yeah,
And that's it. I mean, like, as a self-professional artist, right, publishing my own stuff, you have to take into consideration like what the market can hold and things like that, as opposed to, I make my own prices. And there's all kinds of ideas on how that should be done, but when it comes down to it, it's based on what you think that the market value can get, right?
right,
The markup on my prints is pretty nice because I know that the market can tolerate $20 a print. I couldn't ask for more than that. But then to go to like a convention and there's a kid that's selling the same prints that I am selling them for $7 or $8 a piece, that's, you can't really argue with that no matter what. So
right. Somebody's selling like almost poster sized prints for
right.
$10 a piece or next to nothing, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to bring these things up a little bit here, everybody. Well, and that's the thing with a corporate, when you're doing studio art or spec art or art freelance commissions and stuff like that. Everybody down the pipe has to get paid, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you have the people concepting stuff, the writers, you've got the directors, you've got the people who are fronting the money for things to get published. Nowadays we all go to Kickstarter, so it's us fronting the money, but everybody down the pipe has to get paid. So like, as a designer, you want to like, and the art kind of sells the work. It's the dressing, right? So you want to initially, you want to pay, you know, you want to pay your artist a good amount, but also realizing that you have publishing costs. You have different costs,
Cost of
marketing
goods.
costs,
Mm-hmm.
and those costs because you do all of that, and so those
I did it well.
those costs are costs that you're paying yourself basically to, and you have to sometimes have to put that cost back into the price of the piece.
Oh,
Or
of course, of course. One of the biggest arguments that I see, and there's a few people in here that I know that do shows and have probably seen the same argument, is the credit card fees, right? Businesses are starting to are passing their credit card fee onto the customers. And I loathe that to the core of my being because it should just be rolled into your cost of goods overall, right?
Mhm.
So ideally, we're going to talk numbers. Ideally, you want to get 50 to 55% of your cost of goods, and the time involved and things like that. That's going to shift if you're doing things like jewelry or art or whatever, because you have to, even if you're not paying yourself, the business still has to be paid. So when I go to a show, the show fees, the gas, the hotels, the food, the paying somebody to come out and work, the bags that I put my product in, the credit card fees, all of that has to be rolled into the cost of goods. So yeah, I'm charging at least 50, if not 70% cost of goods of what I'm making. But in the end, at the end of the day, if I have a decent show, I'm probably only making 15 to 20% profit overall. And that's if I have a good show. There's a lot of times where I break even, and even breaking even is not really great because now I have to buy stock in order to fill in the hole that's sold. So even breaking even, I'm taking a little bit of a loss.
Right, right.
Oh, good. Yeah, Adrian says the same thing. Absorb the credit card fees, cost of doing business. Thank you. It's like it's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's like, and they try to pass it off of like, oh, I'll give you a bit of a discount if you pay with cash. No, no, no. You're just passing on the credit card fee. Don't be a dick. It's something it's something I'm a little passionate about because it should like don't make your customer is already giving you their hard-earned money to buy one of your products. Don't make it a bad experience for them by saying, "Oh, by the way, you're using a credit card, so I'm going to charge you the credit card fees." No, I mean you should be charging everybody the credit card fee, right? But
Right,
that means you're going to take a little bit of a loss when they use a credit card, but a little bit of a gain when they use cash, right?
right.
And it ends up balancing it out. And like I don't think you caught the rant at Norman about needing bags. Like the amount of people that were walking around that had bought from other
Yes.
artists that didn't have bags. Like if you can't respect your customers enough to let them get home with your product safely, get out of the game. Like buy the damn bags. They're not that expensive. Make sure
I
that your
bought
customer can
I,
get home with your stock.
I
Did you
just
buy
bought
that?
I bought bags earlier today
Okay, I'm proud of you.
with my bar, with the
Good.
bracer bar. So yeah.
Oh, good, 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 good. I'm
So,
proud of
yeah,
you. You
I
cover
did get
tax with cash. There you
that.
go. That's yeah. That's awesome. Cover tax
I
with
paid a
cash. I
little
do
bit
that.
more for biodegradable bags, but
Yay, people like that. Like
yeah.
I started doing the biodegradable bags, and yeah, they, because they kind of go, they'll waffle like, oh, I don't know if I want to take a bag, and I go, it's biodegradable and compostable, and they go, I want a bag. So it's yeah, it's yes.
Yeah, I
I'm
paid a little
super
bit.
proud of you.
I paid a little bit more for that, but
Good, good, good.
it's worth it for me not to like, if people like get it. But if it starts raining on them while they're carrying it, then they're fucked.
Well, it's not gonna, it's not gonna melt that quick.
Then you're fucked. I should
Well,
get
yeah, I have sleeves too, but
some
get bags,
canvases.
Nathan. I'm gonna lecture you next time I see you about not having bags. T-shirt
Yeah,
bags are not that
sleeves
expensive.
for your prints. I got sleeves for my prints too, but yeah,
Yeah, I do too. All of my
I was
sleeves, all my bags are prints are in
I
sleeves.
was surprised at like how many people needed some at the Ren Fest. So it's like I'm learning, Carla. I'm learning. I'm
Good, good. Take those notes. Take those notes.
taking my notes and stuff.
Yeah, because
So
you
I
have
thought
your
about
first Ren Fair coming up in about
yeah,
a month and a half. Yeah.
yeah. I thought about actually getting a few, like 2 or 3 canvas bags off of Critically Epic and doing some
Ooh.
putting some art on some canvas bags or my logo or something, the Critically Epic logo on a canvas bag and stuff. And so
I will send you links for bags for sure.
sweet, 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 sweet.
If they're just it's on Amazon. They're t-shirt. They're probably degradable t-shirt bags on Amazon, which I
Okay.
know kind of probably denotes the biodegradable part of the bag is that I'm getting them on Amazon, but
Yeah, that it equals out.
I
That's
know,
what
right?
it's like.
It's the
That's
one
what
has
it's
those
like.
together.
Yeah, well, you're using Amazon. Yeah, man, just
Yeah, yeah.
take
What corporate dick am I gonna suck? Better pick one. Don't have a choice.
it. we're
Sorry, guys.
sucking
I mentioned this was an
we're
explicit
sucking
episode.
we're sucking corporate dick somewhere down the line. Let me
That's
get
all
my
they give us anymore.
let me
Now I'm
get my
on this, bitch.
chapstick out. Let me
Logo
get
on canvas. Yeah, yeah, totally.
yes,
I don't
logo
have
on
any.
canvas. Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to think if I have anything up my sleeves for that other than imprint where you got to buy 1,000 of them. But yeah, Printify. Printify has some pretty decent, inexpensive bags for that you can just do some like 3-color,
You
4-color printing on.
people are all like, always like, well, do you have a business card? It's like, no, but I have these canvas bags with my name on it.
There you go.
You can
There you
take
go.
it. You can take it with you everywhere you go. Take me shopping. It's got a
I
little.
sold a ton of totes.
It's
People
got
love
a.
those
It's got
totes.
a QR code right on the canvas bag.
When you know what, when you can figure out how to sell your marketing, you're golden.
There you go.
Yeah, there's just yeah.
There's like a
Yeah, there's
there's like a tiny QR code in the eyeball of a dragon, and so if you get
people are like if they're taking pictures of it, it's just automatically taking you to the website.
yeah, it'd be great.
Like, what's going on? I don't understand.
It keeps taking me to this damn website.
Yep. But people, I mean, don't understand the amount of like little finicky stuff that goes into shows, right?
Yeah,
Your bags and your credit card reader. I mean, you got to play with my credit card reader. I actually paid Square for the handheld, it's like a $250 credit card reader.
yeah,
But it makes things so much easier, right? Like I can just
yeah,
hand them that and they're not touching my phone and I'm not like
yeah.
getting messages while they're running their credit card, that kind of stuff. And the bags and the pens for signing and the scissors and all the little odds and ends that go into putting on a booth. Like,
Yeah, I should have put my QR
oh,
code on
table
the banner.
runners and banners.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I should have put the
Yeah.
QR code on the banner.
Yeah. I quit handing out business cards like 5 years ago. I have a sheet that says follow me on the socials and it's a big QR code.
Yeah,
Excuse me, sorry. Big QR code and that takes you to the link tree and you can see everything there. So,
yeah, I'm gonna print that.
probably about two or three people per show, like kind of grumble about it because they're either older or that, my phone is dead. And then I just Google DragonLady art, it's all me.
Yeah,
Or they'll take pictures of my banner because I have that big, like 9 foot by 10 foot banner behind me that has DragonLady art on it. So
yeah, I don't. I'm going to do that, and the one that I said the adventure, join the adventure. I'm going to print that off, and that QR code's right there. I'm going to laminate that and have that just hanging on the, somewhere on the booth where people can do it.
yeah,
'Cause
that's a good idea.
I think the business cards are nice, and I print off like little cheap ones at the library, and I put them in with the print when they buy it, just so like if they go like, who did this, and it doesn't,
Yeah.
and they were able to get away without I offer to sign everything that I have, and sometimes I'll pre-sign them when I do it.
Yeah. I used to
Sometimes
until my hand got tired. And
for
people-
speed, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I've got one of those laser printers, the heat printers, and I printed off a bunch of these. Is my QR code, and I mean I have a freaking roll of them. I keep meaning to like sit down and put them on the backs of everything, and I clearly have not yet because here's the roll. But yeah, I really need to make like a postcard or something to drop in bags that have like 4 pieces on it and then my information because I know people get home and go, who's this by? And other people go, I don't know, I just bought it at the Ren Fair. And I I know I'm hurting myself by not putting my branding on everything. And I used to do that, right? Like I used to, like my magnets were all branded and stickered, and my prints used to have stories on the back of them all and everything else. And then I got chronic fatigue and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And when you have like 45 active images and having to sticker every single one of them gets really difficult.
yeah.
But I need to get back into like using these again because these, I mean, they're just 2x1 labels, and I run them through my heat printer, so there's no ink involved. And I literally reset it to like 400 and then walk away, right? Like it's not a big deal. And thank y'all.
I might have you send me. I might like give you my information. Have you make me some and send it to me. I don't have a.
You're getting really heavy on my coattails, Alan.
I don't have a scanner. I would pay you. God.
Gotta drag Alan along into the world of the living here.
It's one more thing, Carl. Yeah, I don't have a printer.
I
don't have a scanner. I don't have a printer.
Yay! I'm so glad you came.
It's amazing that I'm even. It's amazing that I'm even an artist.
Awesome.
Right now.
What's that?
It's amazing that I'm even an artist right now. I don't have a scanner. I don't have a printer. I don't have a lot of shit.
What is your problem? Doing it old school. And I have like the big 12x18 scanner. I did my own printing for a while. That was a really dumb idea. Yeah, Lee's been following me for a really long time.
Yeah.
On the side hustle selling labels.
Right?
I did say before we dropped out that I realized I need to supplement my income with some kind of tchotchke. And that's kind of, I mean, that kind of brings us back around to Critically Epic, right? Like, Critically Epic is a product-based brand as opposed to an art-based brand, which is why I was okay bringing in Alan. The thought of filling a booth on my own, even a 10 by 10, with that kind of stuff is pretty daunting. So
Yeah.
we're shooting more for products as opposed to art.
Right.
So everything's under the Critically Epic
There,
banner.
there's actually still a lot of original art in there. It's just not as in-depth art as like that amazing freaking lion that she has back there. It's not. It's it's just things we do for fun, sketching around, and we think it'd be kind of funny. And we're both gamers, although Carla's a WoW player.
I play WoW. My tune is old enough to drink, and I am incredibly proud of that. Thank you very much.
I think we need to put that on a t-shirt.
Oh, that would be so good.
Right.
My WoW tune is old enough to drink.
Yeah, there you go. I'm surprised at the lack of WoW stuff you actually have in there.
In here, that's because it's all at home. I've got like all the Funko Pops and
no. On Critically Epic, like a WoW reference.
Oh yeah.
That WoW people would get that. I'm necessarily wouldn't get. I'm sure there's like little like inside jokes that you guys have and shit on there.
There it is. Everybody with me now, Leroy Jenkins.
Even I've heard of that. That's legendary.
At least I have chickens.
Leroy Jenkins crossed the streams and it went over into D&D.
Oh yeah, it did.
I've met lots of people that Leroy Jenkins.
Oh, it was on Jeopardy. It was a question on Jeopardy.
What? Oh,
yeah, it was a question on Jeopardy, dude. Yeah, so it was a question of Jeopardy, and I remember when it first came out because that's how old I am and how long I've been playing. Again, I've been playing since release, like a few months after release. The other thing is, several years ago, they had put out an event that was a virus that your pet could get. Like when you went into a dungeon, you fought a boss, you would get a virus, and it would spread if people were too close to you. So one of the game mechanics was to spread way the fuck out. They made it so when you left the instant, it would clear off of you, but it wouldn't clear off of your hunter pet. So hunters, hi hunters, I'm a hunter too, would run to like major cities and spread this virus all over the place, and people would just be dying left and right because they could.
Shit.
Yeah. So now, like CDC, like papers and shit have been written on the spread of viruses based on that event. They use it as data points.
Oh.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's fun.
God.
But yes, I still play WoW. And we should probably talk about like doing some gaming, like computer gaming stuff, because I'm sure there's other. I mean, you can go all the way back to Guild Wars or I don't know any of the modern MMOs. I like quit doing research on that.
Yeah, I know.
Diablo 2 just got an X-Back release that I picked up, so I did go back and play Diablo 2 too.
I am old enough that the first Nintendo came out while I was born.
Oh, yeah.
So
Alan, you're only a year older than I am. Shut up.
I know, and it's so much
older
than you.
Shut up.
I'm so
elder millennial baggage
in the ways of
Then why do you keep asking me questions all damn day?
Because you're really smart, Carla. You're really fucking
That's true,
smart.
I am. I know.
So if you guys didn't know, Carla's really fucking smart. But I try not to abuse that and ask her too much.
Did I mention how heavy my coattails are getting?
Well, I mean, we can always just, you keep asking me, you still want to do this?
It's a lot. I know it's a lot.
But yeah, like I'm older. Like I missed the whole MMO train. Like I got
Nathan, shut up.
Oh, shit.
I think we made the joke. I think we made the joke in the chat once that we could totally be your parents.
Yeah.
So we're your art parents. I believe so.
Nathan's our more successful art baby right now.
Yeah, so I answered you to tell me that big news that you had, which I don't know if you need, I'm not going to say anything about it on stream. But I messaged Alan, I was like, did Nathan tell you his news? And he was like, well, no. And I was like, yeah, that's because he loves his art mama more than his art dada. So, that.
And then I was like, he messaged me. I was like, he messaged me. I just don't check my Discord.
Like the absent father you are.
Where's my back child support?
Oh God, I saw Phantom Menace in the theater when it came out. May the 4th be with you, by the way, since we're gonna bring that up.
Yeah, it was in theaters too. I think I went and saw it like 3 or 4 times in theaters.
It came out the same time the South Park movie came out. Cool. It came out the same time that the South Park movie came out. So we went and saw the South Park movie every time for all of our friends that went and saw Phantom Menace. So we ended up seeing the South Park movie in the movie theater like a dozen times.
Isn't that like, just the peak right there, the Phantom Menace and South Park. It's totally
yeah, peak culture wars right there.
Peak for that year.
Exactly. But yeah, we're what does that bring anything back around to? I
don't know. I was
sorry, we went way off tangent. If anybody has any questions,
no,
throw
I
them in
missed
chat.
the boat on MMOs, but I do like. I don't consider it, group playing Halo and MMO. I was in that. I was in the military.
Right.
I was in the military at the time when Halo hit. And so I was really big into Halo and playing those games, and then Skyrim came out, and then that's all she wrote,
Fucking you can play WoW up to level 20
Fucking Bethesda took my soul.
I'm still playing Blizzard monthly, and I just dropped 90 for the new X pack that I played all of 5 hours. So I had to buy the up-tiered X pack because I really liked them out.
I'm still rocking an Xbox One, and it's I'm playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater from I'm like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, and there's like the one fucking level you can't get past.
Great.
So, I might go to Grand Theft Auto after this because I missed that whole boat too. So I might.
There you go. It's funny how Tony Hawk has become like his own meme. Like nobody knows who he is. They're just like, "Hey, you look like that Tony Hawk guy," and it is
you look like
Tony
that
Hawk
guy. You look like that guy.
So clearly, this is what we do to relax: is we play video games. I play WoW. Off and on, I get into it and then drop it. And you would think for as much time and as much involvement as I have in that video game, it would influence my art more. I'm going to tell a little secret. I actually never liked their dragon designs. I never liked the heavier style dragons. Clearly, I like the thinner, wispier dragons. But I like their dragon lore that they have in the game. A lot of it, not all of it. But I never liked the look of
which game. Which game?
You really have to ask.
Oh,
World of Warcraft.
Yeah. There's dragons in World of Warcraft. They don't promote it very well.
The whole X pack 2 X packs ago was all dragons. They have the dragon. They have like the dragon aspects and.
That's how much I know about WoW. I have no fucking clue. You know what? I saw that Warcraft movie in the theater, and it was hot for orc babes for a hot second.
Okay then. Your kink is not my kink, but your kink is okay. That explains so much.
What? God. Like.
So yeah.
And Carla's just like, okay.
No judgment here on stream.
She's like, totally gonna give you shit about that later.
Oh, yeah, and that's in my back pocket for the most inconvenient time for you possible. Shit. Everything can be ammo at a later date. He's feeling bad about it.
Whatever, Carla. Whatever.
If that's the best comeback you got, I won. But it's like as our, fantasy artists, though, we tend to we ride the whole train, right? I read fantasy books. I listen to like a lot of, not a lot, but especially the earlier metal stuff is a lot of fantasy metal, is a lot of like the games that I play are all fantasy, Diablo, World of Warcraft, things like that. Like when you're kind of into it, you're way into it, which is like the epitome of geekdom, right? Like I love geeking out about stuff with people, even if I'm not into the stuff that they're into, but seeing
Right.
how excited they are about what they're into, like unless it's football or sporty balls that I don't really care about. But yeah, in general, like we live the whole life and that informs all of it, right? Not just because that's
Yeah.
what artists do. We take
LARPing,
everything
like I
around us.
don't I don't LARP, but I'm fascinated by it. I think that the people who do it are, definitely getting, figured out how to do fantasy health with LARPing because they're like doing all these combat moves and stuff, and some people get really too into it. Um, and stuff. But I would totally LARP if I got the opportunity. I'm a huge. I'm waiting for. I think it's the 12th for the eighth book on Dungeon Crawler Carl book.
Oh,
So
yeah. I'm so
I'm
behind.
I'm eagerly awaiting that book and that whole series, and they have a TTRPG out right now, and definitely looking at trying to figure out some stuff like that for critically epic in the vein of that.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like, that's fucking hot right now, and I glurp glurp, that's right, kill kill kill. Yeah, I'm loving it. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to that or read that series, that is one that'll sneak up on you because it is just um, it reads quick like a movie, and then he like slides in all this emotional shit on you on like brings out the left hook with all the emotional shit, and you're just like so invested by the time you get done. You're like, oh shit, are they gonna live through this, who's gonna die, because you're thinking your favorite characters are probably going to die, and your favorite character, some of them are probably going to die.
George R. Martin, that bitch.
Yeah, but he does it in a way. That's, I don't know. Some things are really brutal, and then some things are just like so fucking hilarious. It's not even funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it became a phenomenon too. And it's like I've gotten most of the way through the first book, and I like it because it is for the fans, right? It's a guy that like doesn't know much about this, but then to get in and not understanding, but there's so many like little inside jokes for the TTRPG nerd fantasy community
Hmm.
that it's fascinating. I think it's such a great mix, and to see like I know Jason's been into that genre for a while now, right? The
Lit RPG. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, lit RPG, and to have that explode so big and
Yeah.
cross lines, and so many people are enjoying it. People that are not into excuse me, are not into the fantasy stuff are being brought in because it doesn't talk above your head like a lot of fantasy does, right? If you're going to sit down and read Robert Jordan or Brandon Sanderson, you have to be into the genre. It's hard to get into if you're not. But
Yeah, lit
Dungeon
RPG
Crawler
is
Carl,
it's an interesting I think subgenre of fantasy and gaming fiction, because it's either the reader is aware of what levels and things are going on, or the characters themselves are.
mhm.
So there's different, I think, ways to do it within lit RPG, but it's here to stay, I think.
Yeah, oh, for sure, especially with how much that Dungeon Crawler Carl is caught on, right? And
Yeah.
now they're working on a TV show, and you just said there's a tabletop and everything else. That's just I'm glad to see them seizing on something that's so popular so quickly,
Yeah.
right? It's not so like when Disney came out with the Baby Yoda stuff, they held onto it so tightly that I think they missed. I mean, they didn't because it's Disney and they can do whatever the hell they want. But it was like another year before they put out like products and stuff, right? And I know Dungeon Crawler Carl's has taken it. It's like, I mean, we're on book what, 8? So
Yeah.
there has been a ramp up where it was like kind of underground the first couple of books and then has exploded.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see. So like I've got licensing expo in a couple of weeks. The Oh my gosh, sorry, ADHD brain is ADHDing hard today. The
Title.
C&D group. See, now I got critically
Critical
acclaimed on here.
Role.
Critical Role. Thank you. I'm like, it's critical something, and all I've got is Epic on the brain. Yeah, they're like Critical Role will be there, and like Paizo gets a booth there. Like I went and took pictures of the Paizo booth, so I think I'm gonna meet the Paizo people because now my I am represented by the same agent that represents Paizo on the licensing market, which is
Sweet.
very cool, and Frazetta. And so it's and like when the D&D movie came out a couple years ago, Hasbro had like they rebuilt the bar in the licensing expo for people to go in and meet and stuff like that. So
Nice. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's going to be totally sweet. The amount of people I went to Planet Comic Con this, the amount of as just there was a couple of artists that I wanted to meet there. Stephen DeJean and oh fuck, name Tawny Fritz. Yeah. Tawny, and I wanted to go up there and meet them because I'd been following their work for a long time, and but the amount of people that were cosplaying, people walking around with like heart boxers and or like even cosplaying as like the Samantha, and I'll kill your mother and stuff like that. It's really you haven't met Samantha yet if you're only on the first book, but I think she comes in the third book. But it is interesting how these characters who you think are like side characters that are going to be killed off and quickly end up becoming like almost this integral found family in that series. And that's it talks about almost like what it means to be real, what it means to not be real. There's different things, just different little sub things that he laces throughout the work, and it's just I think it's really well done, and I think that it's and it's not crazy, like it's like this popcorn action fueled kind of
absolutely.
It's meant to be entertaining, right? But it's also like leaves you almost feeling like you just like I got like anxious coming towards like the end of the book, like every series, like the tension is building after every level, so everything is going to get like ramped up at every book is just ramped up more and more to like almost like god tier level shit, and like almost fighting like Godzilla Cthulhu shit. It's just but then and then how they figure out little cheats and hacks in the game to break it and like just kill everybody. I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
You want to give the author and the name of the series?
Yeah, it's Matt Denneman. Dungeon Crawler Carl is the first name of the book, and it's the Dungeon Crawler Carl series by Matt Denneman. Definitely go check it out. And I have not listened to the audiobook yet. Apparently the
audiobook is killer. If you like audio, it's like a play. The guy does all the voices and it's amazing. I did go buy the physical book because I prefer reading physical books, not knocking audiobooks at all. I have to listen to my nonfiction and read my fiction. I can't, that's just how my brain works. But you were talking about cosplaying and the amount of people that you saw cosplaying Dungeon Crawler Carl. But it's really cool to see kind of nerd and geekdom making another surge. It kind of went, like it got big and then it kind of went down and now it's getting big again. The Ren fairs. So many people were dressed up at the Ren fairs. And everything from like casual, like piecing together their sets to people that were in like full armor that don't LARP and don't cosplay professionally, but they're buying like pieces of armor.
Oh, Carla dropped again.
Oh, okay, good.
Speaking of
Ooh, we're back.
which, that guy that I took a picture of in full armor, he reached out to me on Facebook. That's him and his daughter, and
Oh,
he was like, "We didn't get
cool.
very many pictures of us." So
Oh,
I was
wow.
taking pictures of everybody, and he was like, "So
Yeah.
I sent him the picture so that he could."
Oh,
He
good.
was like, "Is it okay if I take this picture?" And I was like, "Yeah, here you go."
That's awesome. That's
So
awesome.
it was a guy and his daughter in full armor and stuff, and I don't know if they were part of SCA, but maybe they should be signing up because they were awesome.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a surge in SEA because that dropped for a while too, and I think it's starting to make a comeback as people realize that. I mean, you invest like that much in cosplay or in your armor or whatever, and then you kind of like, where else am I going to wear this? Like, I need to figure out. I can't just wear it here, right? Like, you want to try to find as many places as you can wear it as possible.
Right, right, totally. Another cool thing I did today was I to really go off track. Sorry. Um,
Side quest.
Side quest. We're doing the side quest. Side quest. I host a I run a Facebook group for regional artists in our area called the SEK Arts Community. Um, we do this thing in October, around October, closer to Halloween. It's going to be on October 24th this year, called the Goblin Market. The Goblin Market Curiosities and Wonders Street Fair. And so it's kind of a little bit of like the Oddities Expo, but a street fair vibe version of that, like a little bit of Diagon Alley and Oddities Expo mixed together. So we got the pavilion secured today for doing that. I just have to fill out the event application, but yeah,
I would never
that's
run my own show.
it's going to be fun. You never want to run your own show? It's fun.
It's bad enough that I have artists as colleagues. I know how that goes. Like, it's it's like herding
Well, I mean,
cats.
it
Drunk
kind of
cats.
like artists are so professional. Like vendors are really, I think, some like they know what to do. Like you give them a direction, you give
Yeah,
them a spot, you
the ones that have been doing it for a while for
you
sure.
tell them the things that are available, and they really are professional. They show up, they want to put on a good show for people, and I when you're in a Southeast Kansas is a very event based region because we do not have a lot of heavy tourism. So most of our things that we do are event based. So when it's time to show up and go to work and stuff, there are some great regional artists and crafters here that make incredible work and really show up for the arts. And so, like, I started SEK Arts Community as like an open forum for like people to collaborate because I'm all about conversing and collaborating with other artists, as you know,
Yep,
uh,
that's why I invited
uh,
you on.
and like providing a platform for them to like share their work, ask questions, and things like that. A lot of what we try to do with Here Be Dragons Artcast as well. I try to emulate with SEK Arts Community. But yeah, I'm super excited about the Goblin Market. It's going to be really fun. A chance to dress up, like you said, dress up, and I dress up as a big goblin and with a top hat, and you know, so it's yeah. I didn't get to do it last year because it got rained out. So this year I'm
Yeah,
under. I was like, you know what? I'm not messing with that. I'm going to put it under a pavilion. So
nice.
uh,
That's awesome.
it's still technically a street fair, but it's under like a little park pavilion. So
Oh,
uh,
very cool.
you know, it is
That's awesome.
it is what it is. So sorry for the side quest. We can go back to our regularly scheduled
No,
program.
no, you're saying about like professionalism and vendors and stuff, and I'm like, sitting here going, I have some stories about some vendors, and Adrian, I'm sure you've got some stories about some vendors. Y'all have been doing it long enough too. Like, not all vendors are created equally. Well, so I did.
Oh no, yeah, I've
So
seen some people try to drive through people before. Like Like,
Well, and I've
wow.
been next to vendors that tried to like squeak in more space or move like, yeah, can I hang this on the back side of the wall even though it's technically in your booth? Like, no, it's in my booth. Like, no, you can't do that. And like, and even show, like, I feel really bad because I did the Great Plains Renaissance Fair, which is a great little show if you're in Wichita area. It was awesome. There was apparently some miscommunication between the showrunner and the people like on with boots on the ground, and I didn't have a space. So I got there and was like, "Yeah, I'm Dragon Lady Art," and they were like, "We don't have you on the list," and I was like, "I drove here
That's
from New
cool. Give me a
Mexico."
refund.
Like, this is a nightmare that I've had where I show up at a show after driving for 11 or 12 hours, and they're just like, "We don't have space for you. Sorry,
Are
go
you
home."
fucking serious?
And they made space. I mean, it was, and that massive hailstorm happened right before, like right before I needed to get off my on ramp. I had to pull off because the hail was so bad. I had to stop, otherwise I was gonna die. Um, and so there was a bunch of people asking to be moved around and stuff. So they made space for me, which was awesome. And but yeah, to get there and be like, "You're not on the list," and I'm like, "I have the email. It's right here from the guy." And apparently there was some mass miscommunications going on across several levels, and didn't have a space. So it's I
Right.
and I I've had run-ins like with the Las Vegas Renaissance Festival before. The person that I had the run-in with, that several of us vendors had the run-in with, no longer worked there. The city fired him after we wrote a massive multi-vendor letter about how we were treated at that show and things like that. And it seems like the last couple of years shows have gotten more difficult. It's like they're treating vendors like we're like our vendor fees is what pays for everything else, right? Our vendor fees is what pay for the venue, it pays for the entertainment, it pays for everything else. And then to be treated like garbage at the show, even though it's like the artists and the companies, right? Like we're the ones there for you. Our money is making it so you can do this, or our art is making it so you can do this. Why are you going to treat me like crap?
Right.
Um, so and you don't find that out until you do them, right? You got to start doing shows, and I have come across some showrunners that acted like if I didn't put on the show, you wouldn't have a job, and that's not it at all. Because I can tell you, I could do 30 shows a weekend and still not be hitting them all.
Well,
Like
I'm doing
you're
my
not the only game in town.
Norman was my very first working Ren Fair show with you and helping you out. But my first official one is going to be Silver Sage Renaissance Festival in Joplin, Missouri. It's a smaller park Renaissance fair, and but they have been nothing but helpful, trying to give me tips and clues, knowing it's my first time on how to set things up. They don't know I have Carla's big brain to rely on. But they've been very helpful so far and tolerant because I'm so like anxious that I've been emailing a few times. And so they've been very tolerant and kind as far
A good
as
showrunner will just make it.
you know and I hope that I do a great job there and stuff like that. But their setup is kind of interesting too because they're going to do it like in color coded sections. So I guess there was holes in their placement last time. So they're going to do
Hmm.
it color coded sections, and then if somebody drops out or doesn't show up, they'll place us.
Oh,
So
cool.
they'll place us, and they'll so they're going to work on requests of being placed next to certain people or whatnot. But I think that's interesting. So they're trying to do it a way where they don't have holes because there was like a lot of space holes, people not showing up last time.
Right.
It was raining, so
Yeah,
but
a lot of, especially smaller vendors that don't have the setup for it will drop out because
yeah,
of the rain. And I laugh because the 2, 3 weeks before Norman, I was getting messages from other friends going, "Oh my gosh, the rain and the wind and the blah blah." I'm like, I don't even look at the weather until like 3 days before the show, and that's to make sure that I'm okay for the drive because the weather's going to change. But I've been doing this for 20 years. I mean, my tents have been in 65-mile-an-hour gusts. I've been through hail and rain and everything else, and it's just like I'm going to set up and be there. It's up to you if you feel safe doing that or not. My tents are going to be fine, but I have really expensive professional tents, so
right.
I just either do it or don't, and don't like. And
Yeah,
I think we've had this
your
conversation
tent
and
is
make
a
sure.
tank. Your tent,
Yeah.
your
70
tent
pounds.
just takes it. Just takes
Yep.
it.
70 pounds each tent, which is why I blew out my back loading the car back up, but that's okay.
Yeah, I put up my little pop-up that I did that I got for this, and I'm
Feel
just
real
like,
flimsy.
this bitch is gonna float away.
Yeah.
So I've got to make it real heavy. So I'm
Well,
gonna
I'm not, you were like texting me like, are these weights okay? And I'm like, oh, honey, no.
you need 4 of
No,
those.
no. You know what? You need 4 of them, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to become flying discs if the wind is too bad. So, but I mean, like I just did a show. Oh my gosh, you got flooded out in Texas. Yeah, I at that Great Plains one, the person next to me just bought a new 10 by 20 tent. And my tent, I set it up. I didn't put all the stock inside because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But it's all 2 stakes in each leg with the screw out and the car straps and the 40 pounds in each corner and the whole thing, the stabilizer bars. I don't fuck around.
No,
I got there the next day. I don't. I got there the next day. There was a block of 6 tents, and I was at one corner. The 10 by 20 next to me had been picked up, slammed into the booth next to them, and then their tent rolled over onto the tent next to them, which was right behind me. So out of a six set tent, I was the only one still standing. And this is why I love my tent. And this is why people come into, as you saw at Norman, people come into my tent and go, "Oh my God, who's your tent maker?" And I'm like, "Max. I should get a paid sponsorship from Max. I had shared them so much.
Max,
And
if
you
you're
gotta get the
listening,
pro or the beyond. Pro or the beyond. Yeah. I mean to walk up and to see like my tent standing and then like a huge gap, and like and they were all brand new tents, right? That was all the first time any of those tents had been used. Yeah, I love my tents so much, and I will never be without a Max from now on. I mean, it makes a
I
difference,
mean
right? And
that is on my list. That is on my list to upgrade to.
it is an $800 tent.
As eventually if I keep doing these, and this is if my artwork, which I think my artwork will resonate with the crowd that comes to Ren fairs and stuff like that. I think it will resonate. But there are really good quality artists that do come do these Ren fairs and shows. So it's and people can't support everyone, but it. I had so much fun in Norman. Like Norman was like Disneyland for me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It was super fun, and I had a great time and busted my ass for you.
You did, absolutely. The only reason I did as well as I did is because you were selling like crazy.
And we were taking money from both sides a lot of times, and it wasn't busy all the time, but when people came in, they came in droves. It was like levels. It's like, oh, level 2, let's go.
Right. Well, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. So you try to get, once your booth starts getting full, people start going, "Ooh, what's over there? We need to go check that out." And then it just keeps going. It's cool. Yeah. And the people that run Norman, Oklahoma, I would bend over backwards for them. Like I adore them so much. That's such a good show. Well, it's the largest single weekend Ren fair, largest pop-up Ren fair in the country. So Adrian, Norman, Oklahoma Renaissance or Norman, Oklahoma Medieval Fair for next year. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And it's hard. Like if I could find like 4 to 5 Normans, I wouldn't have to do anything else.
Yeah, we had so much fun. We went and hung out in Oklahoma City for a little bit. We went to like a arcade bar, barcade, and then we had really questionable Chinese,
really bad Chinese.
I mean, it actually was really good Chinese food, and you could tell because all the locals were there. But it was like
kind of a seedy restaurant.
Graffiti in the bathrooms, a little rough around the edges, but
Well, and it was awesome because we started talking to the people next to us, and then they showed up at the show to come say hello.
They
it was awesome.
And came supported you.
Yeah, it was cool. I love when that kind of stuff happens. Totally.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. I was like, we at first we didn't even recognize them. Carla was like, because
I know. I see thousands of people a year. I'm sorry. I was like, oh yeah, it's been a year, huh? And they were like, they don't know who I am. I was like, oh crap, it's the restaurant people. It had been a long weekend.
Yeah. They show up and they're like, "Hey," we're like, "Should we know you?"
Right? Oh yeah, the
It was
Chinese
Sunday,
people.
so yeah, we were done.
It was, yeah. Well, and that was, and then I had a show the following weekend, Great Plains, and I realized I hit my wall. I haven't done 2 shows back to back in 4 or 5 years. I hit my wall Saturday at like 5 p.m. So I had to white knuckle through Sunday because I was just so done with people. And yeah, doing shows are hard. As Adrian said earlier, they're definitely patron focused as opposed to like vendor focused a lot of times.
Yeah,
So,
it's
but
all
this is,
about
I mean, it's
providing
not an easy life.
the experience to the patrons and stuff instead of
Exactly.
that. And that's one of the things that like what we were talking about where we're going. Like people they're there for the experience. Like they're walking
Yeah.
around. They want to have like the fantasy lifestyle. Like they're buying those kind of things.
Hmm.
They're buying the hoods, they're buying the cloaks, they're buying the armor pieces.
Yeah.
They're buying the the things that help them feel immersed
Right.
in the fantasy lifestyle. So, and that's one of the things where it's like when you think about what critically epic could be,
Yeah.
and providing that immersion for people, not
To be
only
more
in
product based.
like the gaming market, but also the fantasy market in general, and providing that immersion. So if we
For
can
sure.
if we can carry some of that energy into like critically epic, I think we'll do really well.
Yeah. Something I wanted to touch on was the having to supplement the fine art or the regular art, right? Like you have to think about stuff like a product. I mean, even my fantasy art is, I still have a product line. I still have, the desk mats and mugs and oracle decks and stuff like that
Right.
are, feature the art, but they're not art based.
Right.
And that's what critically epic is,
Single weekend, Adrian. It's a
all product
single
based.
weekend.
Good grief. Norman is a single weekend, and it's usually the first weekend in April, but they bumped it up because of Easter this year, so it was the second weekend. It's usually the first weekend in April. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, and I know, like I think I talked to you about doing like little products like potion bar jars or something,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
just to kind of have to
Stuff
hit that like
for like
children's.
ambiance, like things that are like
Yeah. My 3D printed dragons without being 3D printed dragons, right? Like that's
right.
something in there to get like kids or that kind of thing to again supplement the income a little bit and
Yeah.
figuring out like where that's going to go and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool thing is like there are so many cool things that you can do with the fantasy lifestyle and the fantasy things that are unique and original in
Hmm.
yours. Like making products for fantasy things, your imagination is the limit.
Right.
So if you want time, if you have the time, effort, and materials, you can create really cool things, really cool products for people. And like I have products that I'm hoping to release through Critically Epic. I have a blog, Spellhawks Press, that I have been, eking out lore stuff and little tidbits and stuff, but getting those things into a PDF or into a printable version that people could download off Critically Epic when we get like a unified store front that's a
Hmm.
little bit nicer than what Printify offers.
The Printify pop-up shop. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Printify. We could do one in Square. I mean, we could. It's a. I have my website through Wix and stuff like that, but something when we get a website that we can do like a little bit like we can organize it in a way that makes sense for uh, our us and so we're I like to the gaming stuff. I'm rambling now, but like the gaming stuff, like I play it too and I develop for it. I really do like playing TTRPGs, and D&D is my base system, but I'm definitely willing to learn and conceptualize for other systems as well, and
Mhm.
thinking about them as products, and not just like thinking about Spell Express as actually a publishing entity and not just a blog has
Yeah.
to be like a mindset shift, right? Like
Oh, completely.
you have to think with a mindset shift in of putting things out and done being better than perfect. So
Yeah. Well, and it's the same, and I know we talked about this before in the show. It's the same as like that jump between amateur and professional, right? It's that change of thinking. It's the change of thinking. It's the change in language. It's the change in how you consider things and whatnot, and no longer just, oh, I'm going to do this thing because I feel like doing it. It's this is going to be a product. This is going to be a thing, and I need to do the research and put it together and put it out in
mhm.
order for it to support me down the line, right?
Right,
Not
right,
just, I mean, we do it for the love, and I tell people, I separate the art from the business. So when I'm painting, when I'm sitting down working on a painting, that's the hobby, fun, love part of it. And I try really hard to differentiate those. I know my like the edges on that got a little fuzzy in the last couple of years, which did not help the burnout at all. Because I felt like I was making art as a product, and kind of that, for an artist, that's not a happy place to be. But yeah, making that mental shift between like amateur or hobbyist and professional. And I think we talked about that a little bit with Ben last week at the, where does he fall? Because he was more than a hobbyist, but not quite a professional, and he was just doing it for himself. And does that like that
yeah.
crafter mentality of I'm just doing this to have the thing as opposed to doing this to share the thing with others? Like it's a different way of thinking and processing it.
Well, and it's fluid, right? Like it's fluid based off like where you are, where you're at, where where your finances are at,
Of
where
course.
you're, and how you're feeling. But it's the great thing about art is it can be fluid. Like you can invest and become professional, and if you need to take a step back and just do it for the love of it for a while and do it for yourself, you can.
Yeah.
As a professional, you're hoping that this will supplement some type of income. Well, but it's always an investment. Like uh, Carla's like it's Carla got me to do the Silver Sage because I've recently been gambling a little bit and losing money, and Carla's like, you'll go to a casino and you'll spend this much money, but you won't take a gamble on the Ren Fair, and you won't take a gamble on your own art that has better odds of succeeding than what you just did. And I was like, "Fuck, you got me there. You got me there." 'Cause I was like, shit.
I told you,
She
he
just
called and I was like, you're not gonna like the answer.
she just Jedi mind fucking logic me to death right there. Because I was like, shit, you're right, dude, you're right.
It's true. It's true. And I mean, it all be, it's what we put value on, right?
Yeah,
And that,
it's gambling, but the odd like making art to sell to other people and turning it into a product to give to another person is gambling, but
oh, completely. Running your own
way
business, no matter what that
way
business is.
better odds. It's your time and investment, and your energy, and people connect. And if people like have an emotional or nostalgic connection with what you're putting out, then it way better odds than going and slipping a 20 into a penny machine and seeing what spits out. So
Right?
yeah,
Absolutely.
so I would much prefer to play this game than go and lose my money in like 20 minutes.
You definitely get more of your money's worth out of it. Normally, a
Right.
bad show will still tank you. Like I've had $0 shows where I haven't sold a damn thing, and that well, I mean, I kind of had a bad Sunday after Great Plains, and that, I mean, on top of the fact that I had been away from home from 2 weeks, and I was kind of done with people, and I had to tear down by myself, and I had to get the tents on top of the car by myself, and and everything else. I definitely had a moment of weakness in the parking lot at Burger King while I was eating my chicken sandwich and not wanting to play this game anymore. And that happened. Like that comes up. Like that's
Well, and then
I'm glad you
you're
raised the voice.
also it's an investment too. You're investing in
Oh,
it to get like a higher yield back, right? But while
right.
you're doing that, like you're also spending money on the expenses to be there. You have to feed
Yeah.
yourself. You have to have some place to sleep. You're not going to sleep in your
Mhm.
car. Some people might, or
Well,
they
there's
might,
quite a few vendors that do.
or they might camp there. But
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a van conversion, so I wouldn't. I mean, we bought a camper, a pop-up camper, so we could start doing that. But I had to take my Kia Soul and not the truck because the truck made work. But
yeah.
getting a double booth in the Kia Soul was fun. That was fun.
That was
Yeah.
fucking like I was just like she targets that bitch. I was just like it just kept coming out and kept coming out. And I was like, this is clown car shit right here. Like
Right? Yeah,
like
yeah. I was
like how
I
did
did,
you
I did
see out
feel
the back? And she's like,
I have a revive a camera. I
I
have a
got a
reverse camera.
camera.
Yeah, I got in the car and was like Ralph Wiggum. I'm like, I'm in danger. Yeah, like if I'm in an accident, I'm going to die. There are no other options
Yes.
here.
Well,
Yeah,
this is the
it was worth
end.
it. It was
Yeah,
worth it for sure. It was fun to
yeah.
do.
Well, you would have died with your art and some of your originals.
And
I
that's
could
all
just
that matters.
I could just see Carla protecting the original if the
I
car
would
was
have, yeah, roll, tuck and
yeah.
roll, you
My
know, with
baby.
my $5,000 Panther painting. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. I'm like, fuck everything else. I got the painting.
Right. Protect the art. It's worth more than me.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
I
We've gone
think
like
we're
30 minutes
over. I think we're
longer.
definitely over
We're
tonight.
over quite a bit.
Oh
Thanks for
boy.
joining us, everybody. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we had a long one this time. We just kind of went off on tangents, I think, this time. I definitely
That's
rambled quite a bit. I haven't even been drinking, so
well, this is why we try to have the host episodes too. It's been several weeks. Well, I mean, we had one right after Norman, but that was kind of it. So,
Yeah, and we
um,
got to introduce people to Critically Epic Studios again. That's kind of like our
criticallyepic.com.
yeah, it's a fantasy gaming brand merch kind of thing, fun stuff. If you're looking for that, and hopefully we can get into Oklahoma Comic Con in Tulsa,
That would
and
be awesome. Waiting to
that'll
hear
be
back
our
from them.
first. That'll be our first con under Critically Epic as a vendor. So
And hopefully we'll be able to pick up a few more. It's a little exciting and scary to be getting back into conventions again. I haven't done cons for about 5 or 6 years, so it's um, not majorly anyway. Like I used to do Denver Comic Con, Phoenix Comic Con, all those big ones, and it would be good to like I'd like to go back to some of those Comic Cons for sure under a product brand as opposed to selling my own art. There's definitely what I've noticed personally, like doing work and stuff like that with this is there's a it's not as much pressure, right? Like it's lifted off my like it's a product brand, so it's not a big deal. Like I'm not emotionally invested. I mean, I
right,
am, but not in the same way that I am with like this stuff. Like
right,
just knowing that like it's more of a numbers game, right? We just got to see what sells and adjust from there. It's not like if you didn't spend 40 hours painting a piece and you're like, oh my God, I hope this sells, right? It's oh
right,
those charms didn't sell, maybe they'll sell as pins, maybe they'll sell as mugs, maybe they'll sell as or this image that I only spent 10 hours on didn't sell well, so we'll just junk it and put the next one out or put different text around. Like it's a different mindset and it takes
yeah.
a
Like
lot of the
Critically
emotion
Epic's
out
like
of it.
playing a video game. Like you're like
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
yeah. It's
Right?
more.
Trying to
It's like a
figure.
designer mentality when you get a wild idea and you're like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
I could make a T-shirt out of that. That would be funny.
Right,
Or
totally, exactly.
so something that said my daughter actually has a she when we play D&D she used to keep notes of everything that we said at the table,
Oh
and it's
no.
all
That
out
comes
of
back to haunt you.
like all out of context.
Oh,
So
that's
like
amazing. That is
so
a treasure trove.
yeah,
You're gonna
I'm
take
gonna
pictures of that and send it to me, right?
yeah, yeah, it's hilarious some of the stuff that like gets said at a game table.
Yeah,
That
for
is
sure.
just like some of the topics that you talk about in like the cross chatter. So or it gets said in game sometimes. So my daughter would just write it down out of context, and so there's a huge out of context list of things that she had.
Yeah,
So
that's gold.
I might
That's
write some of
gold.
that down and like come up with some ideas and
Yes,
just to like,
definitely.
you know, come up with some funny
Better
shit.
share.
Yeah.
Better share.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for joining us at Here Be Dragons. Make sure to like, subscribe, and find us on the web at herebedragonsartcast.com, Substack, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, YouTube, and anywhere else you listen. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next time.